Hey guys, Mix here, and in today's video we are back working on the NasKart. Over the past couple videos in the comments I've been seeing that a bunch of you guys have been missing this thing, and honestly so have I. So basically the last time we worked on this thing is when we installed these insane custom aluminum intakes, which completely transformed the way this thing runs. It runs so much smoother now. It fires on all cylinders, no more fuel starvation, and different cylinders running rich and lean and everything like that. It's nice and even now. But today we're going to be doing something that I have honestly been wanting to do for a really long time. So as you guys know, we've put a ton of work into this thing to get it where it is, and it's capable of a lot of things. But a couple of the limiting factors that have prevented me from even taking this thing out, well, is one, the virus happened, and the trailer I got to haul this thing around, I wasn't able to get it registered. But now that it's open, I could go ahead and get it registered so we can take this thing somewhere to let her rip. But another limiting factor was the brakes. So the brakes on it now are MCP. They're meant for mini cup cars, and they do the job with this thing. And if you guys remember, a while back we put on a brand new master cylinder, but I don't completely trust them if I really need some extra help to stop. So what I went ahead and got is this single piston hydraulic brake caliper that we are going to try out with this thing. So this could basically be like somewhat of a e-brake for us if we ever need just some extra help when stopping. I'd probably mount it somewhere over here so I could just reach for it and pull it just like an e-brake. And then once we're done with that, I finally have a new battery for this thing, because as you guys know, we've literally never really put a good battery in this. And last time when we took it out on the street, the battery ended up dying on us, but it also, our driving was cut short by a electrical plug that came loose and cut spark to this thing. But that's all taken care of, as you guys know, and it's running perfect now. Just once we get that battery in and the brakes, I definitely trust this thing way more when driving it around. So first off, let's start off with trying to figure out how we are going to put on these brakes. So I'm probably gonna have to make a mount somewhere, along the frame to hold it. So what I'm gonna do right now is slide this over the rotor. I might have to compress the piston a little bit to get it over, because the rotor is pretty thick. But we should be able to squeeze it just right in here. And then once it's on, we'll start figuring out how we want to mount this thing nice and strong. Alright, so I compressed the piston just a little bit with like a socket. Just pulled the pads out quick. So we should hopefully, yep, there we go. Be able to slide this right on. Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. Kind of like a supercar that has the two calipers. So the mounting bolts are on the other side, and unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to put it like this, because the frame hits where the piston is in the caliper. So I'm going to have to make a mount that is going to be able to go around to the other side. So what I think I'm going to do, just now thinking about it, is I'm going to use flat bar. I have various thicknesses right here and sizes. I think this size is a little overkill. These two are the same thickness, just it's just skinnier, so I might go ahead and just use this. It's really, really rigid for actually how small it is. I'm putting pretty much all my pressure in it, but then again, the brakes are going to have a lot of drag on it, so we do have to make it pretty strong. So I think I'm just going to start off with this, just to see how it is, suspend it in place, and then I could probably add some more reinforcement just once the caliper's all set in place using this flat bar. So I'm going to go ahead and just start bending this in place and seeing where I need to cut, and we'll start getting this caliper all mounted up. guys, so I just got the caliper all mounted up, nice and strong. I was able to bend the flat bar pretty nicely around the rotor and everything and make sure it doesn't hit. But I think, honestly, this should be completely fine and be able to hold the caliper, because honestly, this stuff was hard to bend. I was using that pole to try and bend it with all that leverage, and it was still really, really tough. So right now, what I'm gonna do real quick is just top off the master cylinder before we go ahead and mount it up. Make sure it's nice and full, because if I have it at like a certain angle, we'll just want to make sure that the fluid is nice and topped off so air doesn't get into the lines. All right, so I just topped off the fluid and cleaned out the master cylinder a little bit. But right now, I'm just gonna go run to the store, because what I like to do to be able to get this to be like pretty accessible and, you know, comfortable to use is weld a bar coming up from here and then basically mount the lever onto there. So then when I want to do it, I could just basically just pull it like that and boom. Soon enough, I'll be taking this to the parts store. So I figure while I'm in the S10, I'll give you guys a little update about this thing. So if you guys remember, usually I have the ABS and brake light on. And if you guys remember from the last video of the Corvette, I said I didn't have the truck because it was getting inspected. Well, it failed inspection because of that. And I was told that the ABS module was like $1,200, but Rock Auto had it for $210, and the install was so easy. I should have just done this like as soon as the light came on, but it has a new ABS module in there. And right now I just gotta drive it around for a little bit so it could get programmed in. But the ABS finally works. So I just remembered today is the 4th of July, and there's a high chance that every place is closed. So we'll just see if it's open. I hope it is. If not, then we might not be able to get this done today. All right, so they're actually open. All right, so the place I went to now didn't have any steel tubing, but they did have 2 screws that I needed for it, so just got that. But I'm gonna go head to another hardware store and hopefully they're open. This is where I get all my steel tubing, so they definitely will have it there. All right, so luckily this place is open, so let's just get the tube and then we'll head back and finish up this e-brake. So the place actually just closed 3 minutes after I got there, so looks like I can't really do that for today, but I guess we could throw in the battery when we get home, just so it's ready for tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll get there early so we could get the handbrake all mounted up, and then I'll probably end up bleeding it a little bit, and I'll probably test it out. All right, so out with the old and in with the new. So this battery is a little bit small for the little holder it has, but I just want to go ahead and just hear this thing crank a little bit just to see how it does turn over this engine. Go ahead and fire it up, actually. It's been a while. Alright guys, so now that we just heard this thing run real quick with the fresh battery, I'll catch you all tomorrow once we get the tube I need to mount the brake, and then we'll do all the stuff that I was saying earlier and finish this thing up. So that being said, see you all tomorrow. So guys, we are back here the next morning, and I just got back from the hardware store and just got some pipe. So I'm just going to jump straight into this. I'm just going to measure where I need to cut this and everything. And then I'll probably have to round out the bottom of it so it sits flushly on this bar. And go ahead and just take off the powder coat, make sure it's exactly where I want it, weld it in place, and then mount up the brake. So let's just crank this out real quick so we can finish this up. little master cylinder and the levers all mounted up. The cable is ran. This feels pretty sturdy. I don't think I have to worry at all about it breaking. But what I'm going to do right now, just quick off camera, just bleed the brake just real quick. And as you guys can see, it is really important that I filled it up before, like as high as I possibly can, so when it's outside, little tiny like piston over here that moves doesn't get any air in it. I was a little bit worried about having the master cylinder like this, but I don't think we should run into any issues, and if we do, we can always just fix it. But I just bled the brakes real quick, made sure it didn't lose really any fluid. Just basically got out all the air I could, but lots more pressure now. It definitely feels way better. But right now, what I think I'm going to do just real quick is just take it out of the shed and take it for a spin in the backyard. I know a lot of you guys would say just take it out in the street, but it's just too sketchy bringing it out in the streets with the cops, because if this thing got taken away, all this work would be just gone. And two, this thing is so low, a car might not even see me. So it's just not worth the risk. We're better off just waiting off until the trailer's registered. We can take it somewhere nice and safe and private. So let me just go ahead and just roll this thing outside real quick. I'll let it warm up just because it hasn't driven basically since the last time you guys saw it driving, which was months ago. So gonna check the oil, check the fuel, and we'll see how this e-brake feels when it's under power. Alright guys, so the NasKart is outside, so let's go ahead and get this thing all fired up and warmed up. So guys, it is a long time from the last clip, and this thing literally will not run. You guys saw it's been running mint completely fine. I went to turn it off, get my helmet, I went to start it back up, and it just is not running. I took out all the plugs, cleaned them up, we have spark, we're getting fuel. It's probably flooded or something. I'm sure if I actually just like let it sit, let any fuel that might be in it evaporate, and I mean honestly the plugs could also be fouled out. But right now I just do not have a lot of time to tinker on this thing. And the battery keeps dying, so I gotta get a fully new one meant for, I guess, a Honda CB750. But I mean, at least the e-brake's all hooked up. Maybe I just roll it quick and see how it feels. All right, so I can roll pretty easily right now. Oh yeah, it feels pretty dang good. It just really sucks because I was really hoping to see if maybe it would even lock up the rear brakes and if I could drift it or something, I don't know. But I guess with that being said, I'm going to be needing to end it off here. I don't have too much time to mess with it, like I just said, but I'm sure next video I'll have this thing up and running for you guys. It's just so weird that it's been running completely perfect ever since we did the intakes and something's messed up. I'm sure if I just throw a new set of plugs in there, we'll be good, because they are pretty old. But anyway guys, with that being said, I'm going to be ending off the video here. Follow my social medias, they will be on the outro of this video. Instagram and Snapchat I use the most, but thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, share, and support the channel.